Sucks that even though this was, you know, a pretty cool play, we all die right after. So it's just doomed. Hey guys, it's Aphromoo, and we're going to be ranking some of my best plays of all time. Get ready.
See if you can have a better time at this one. The jungler's actually going to be ending on the same side of the map right here, so a bit of a lopsided situation. Nia's going to be there for the 2v1 push, but no one...
Oh my god, are you serious, Aphromoo? Well, that's pretty good for CLG.
Yeah, so I mean, back in the day, the golems had, obviously, or the blue golem had his two little homies in the blue buff, and pretty much the blue buff was like so much XP and gave you so much mana regen that if you took it from, especially this guy's playing Gragas jungle, it was over because he couldn't do the rest of his camps. He's just gonna run him. And yeah, I had time because we're 2v1, and this was the 2v1 meta where usually, you know, the top laner and the jungler were on top of each other doing the buff together, but this time Quas and him weren't. So I just walked in to check, and apparently my man Smite was down at this time, and yeah, poor guy. I autoed it. He was scarred for life. Anytime you bring it up with him, he was just scarred. This play was all right. I mean, I went up and slapped it. I got to see the other places where to put this, but I mean, between A and B, so we'll just leave it at A for now. Maybe I'll change it later.
He's going to chill out from this one. Rush is going to get away. But mid under fire, CLG relentless this game. And Tip missing. Oh, the flash hook! They got him! Xiao goes down. That was beautiful.
The Ballista play pulled off perfectly right there.
This was when, I think, this was when Kalista first came out, and she was probably the most broken AD carry at the time. Yeah, we're up 30 CS on bottom, so he had a lot of cool interactions with her ultimate. Blitzcrank in particular, yeah, you flash hook and then you ult me while I'm flying through the air, and the person just comes back all the way. I think this was the only time we did it too, because we had this interaction in scrims pop up, so we definitely wanted to replicate it on stage, especially when, you know, they're blinding. Janna on bottom, Blitzcrank is able to be played, so it was pretty good. I think this play, when I was in it, I was terrified that Peter wasn't going to ult me in time, but thank God he did. So this play, it's all right. I wouldn't say it was like amazing. We'll give it another A. Well, usually when the new character comes out, you just try to find all the interactions that work well with it, and since it's, you know, a pairing with another person, you bind them and then you figure out, you know, what combos are good. So it's like, you know, yeah, Tom Kench eats somebody, you know, you ult him, throw him back and stuff like that. That's one of them. And then Blitzcrank was also another one, and Blitzcrank is also good into Janna. So the meta at the time was, yeah, you would pick Blitzcrank into Janna if they did pick it. Kalista's most broken AD carry at the time. So then one day, you know, it was just like, bro, if I hook somebody, you can just ult me back. So, and then after that, you know, we just tried it and it started working. I think it had a lot to do with just the build up of all the practice that we did. Obviously, you know, duo queue, streaming and all that, and we're just having fun. I would say everything was fun, you know. Both same style, I would say, is just, you know, you want to just, can't say this lightly, just f up the enemy team, like make it the worst game they've ever played for them possible, you know, especially bottom lane. And I think we did that on a consistent basis. Well, you know, and that for both of us is just fun, you know, competing. And then obviously in solo queue and duo queue and stuff like that, it was just about having fun all the time, and you know, the fans were able to see that. So I do think you have that kind of recipe. It's just super entertaining to watch in general, I think, for, you know, any competition.
Summoners to get into the right position, to be in the right spot. That kill going to them, but Dyrus has also fallen. That's going to be Pobelts are going down. Way too close now for CLG. Triple kill for Turtle, looking for the Quadra. Not going to get it that time. It's a triple for Double Lift. He's looking for Bjergsen.
Oh yeah, that series, I mean, just going into it, I knew we were going to win 3-0 no matter what. So our practice was the indicator of that, and we were just super confident. Especially on bottom lane, you know, I didn't really worry about, you know, going up against Turtle and Lustplay, was it, I think? I don't know who it was, but yeah, I just felt like we were just so much better than the opposing team at the time. Yeah, just going into that play, I mean, yeah, the homies inted it on my team, you know, happens. and I was just like, oh god. So, and at the time during that play, I knew we could kill them all, so I just told him, yeah bro, just go for it, man. There's no point in, you know, running away and just dying after. So just, you know, all in, and we played the best we could and yeah, killed everybody. And I think back in the day, Zeke's Herald was the 100% crit item, so that also procced during the fight. So a little broken item, but hey, got the job done.
We saw Smithy already pick up his first mark, however, so that's good. Aphromoo hasn't spotted the enemy jungler here. This could be big.
Looks like they actually want Aphromoo. They know Stixay has the heal, the flash, and they're gonna go for the support on this one. The heal comes out from Stixay, is the save, and now goes down. First blood for CLG.
Karsa flash canceled his auto, and I let my pot take one more little HP right here because the auto's right there, and I got a little tick. I would have died, but I just realized this. But oh god. Anyway, their misplay. Definitely should have died, but after that, obviously, I was able to follow up with the hook, and then Karsa just backs off and he thought I was gonna die, but that's too rough, man. Dude, Darshan always had TPs up at the time during that, so that was cool too. But yeah, I think during the MSI run, everybody was always trying to gank me, especially so I'm playing Soraka all the time. So everybody just all in for Mr. President, and you know the boys got my back. So it's too funny. This play. I think it was okay. Nothing too special. I definitely should have died, but obviously, you know, you just punish for people's mistakes when you can. So we'll give it a B. I was confident going into it just because we were probably the best team at 2v1 at the time. Definitely studied a lot of that macro and just getting the most out of it, as much lead as we could. Whereas, you know, most of the other teams didn't really put as much time as we did into that. Obviously our standard gameplay was also good because we were the only team to play Caitlyn a lot of the time, Baraka, Bard, and seemingly nobody really had any counters. It was just those were the 3 bans they had for every single game. So I think we just had a huge advantage going into the tournament with our bottom lane, and it allowed our top side to be able to pick whatever they want. You know, we had Aurelion Soul, Darshan as Poppy, Smithy always getting the best jungler, Nidalee, Kindred all the time. So yeah, not really. Obviously beating SKT for the first time was pretty cool when the Faker played his undefeated. Maybe he lost one, actually lost one before that. Blanc is crazy, bro, but Jesus. I was glad we won that game just because Faker was doing his absolute hardest. Like, he was pretty much just 1v9 against us in that game, literally doing everything, trying to get picks all the time, always, you know, pushing forward for the spot and stuff like that. So yeah, he was playing out of his mind. But that win, and then other than that, probably the RNG game, the second one, where we're down 18,000 and came back. Yeah, I think now Thresh is kind of on the low tier. I think he doesn't really provide as much as the engaged supports provide now. I think Thresh was more popular back in the day just because he had an overloaded kit, and he was a lot better into ranged champion matchups because his attack range was longer. They nerfed that. He had, you know, higher base HP, higher resistances, higher AD. His spells hit for more. His flay used to, you know, lock you and you couldn't move, so you can always flay hook. They removed that interaction, and now he's pretty squishy. Doesn't have the range to auto. Can't really do the combo when you flash flay hook. They can always dodge it now, and now it's just better to play, you know, other champions. So I do think when he came out, very, very good champion, but nowadays, not really. He's okay. You gotta like pick him in the right scenario where he's good, but most of the time, like, he's just gonna be a lantern bot no matter what. Because if you walk up and try to hook, there's so much poke in the game now that you're gonna get punished. So that's why you see most supports playing like Nautilus nowadays, where you just land it, you're going automatically. Leona, you know, you land it, you're going automatically, and you're tanky.
Waves pushing up towards the bottom lane, so Dardock's going to go ahead and solo the first Drake of this game for his team. Ocean Drake should be over, but a dive in top lane, in onto Darshan. There's a good Spirit's Refuge there for Darshan to protect him. Dive still coming out. Lolo's still looking to go in, but needs a few more vitals. One more in, Flux is over, but a great Bard ultimate might save Darshan, and it will.
He actually parried the bar, which is going to get a kill.
Afro gets the stun, portal through the wall, and takes down Lolo.
Afro, are you kidding me?
Mistake, bro, mistake. We were done on our strong side, so I had time to walk over to our weak side at this point, and they were diving when they should really be basing, but Yeah, they were extended, didn't really kill Darshan, and you know, got punished. And Bard is a champion, you know, he's a roaming champion, has time to do stuff like that, especially I had Mobies at this time. I think it's just a reaction play where, you know, they're overcommitting and, you know, I clap them, so it's not too bad. Hard to put anything as S or a higher tier, you know, because I feel like most of them are just all like, I do this normally, so I don't think, you know, it's great, but I guess. Oh man, this one, it goes in between, it's an A. Yeah, when Bard came out, I was the only one spamming it, and for me, when any new champion comes out, I usually put a ton of games on it to make sure, you know, I understand it, see if it's good, see if I can make it work. And nobody really liked Bard because, you know, he has 3 utility abilities: a heal, a portal, his Zanya's ulti, and then, you know, his Q, which is only damage ability, and nobody really liked that at the time. And I was like, I don't know, man, you know, this guy seems kind of cool. So obviously with the ultis and stuff like that, I'm gonna int a lot in solo queue, and you know, people get upset when you're playing it, but eventually I, you know, figured it out first. And once you do that, it's just a huge advantage for your team, because you can pick it, you know, all the matchups, you know all the interactions, and you can just get advantages for your team. Whereas the other team, you know, they don't put a lot of time into it. They either ban it and they have to waste a ban, or they got to play against it and you just f them up, you know. And that's Bard.
Maybe trying to turn this fight around, but here it is once again. They start off the fight on Amedios, but that is the tank, and it was a good early ultimate here from Tarek, but it didn't have that much effect. The hook there onto Jensen takes out one, and now watch as Licorice, right as he's about to go Mega, Afro hits another hook on him as the flank is coming in from Someday. This denies the Mega Gnar coming through, no ultimate able to come out, CC'd up, locked down, taken down, and Cody-san ends up getting 3 kills in the ensuing play, off of yet another good hook for Aphromoo. So this is 3 hooks, setting up 3 big kills, all given over to the AD carry, and that is exactly what you want to see.
I think just in the middle of the fight, yeah, usually I'm cognizant of like what's happening. So I think the first hook is just I fake like I'm going here and then hook this guy so Jensen doesn't expect it, you know, he W's at the last second. Here I just dodge, you know, the Terki flash. And it's important when you're going up against Gnar, when he's mini, you just kill him when he's mini because he's so weak. But when he's mega, you obviously, you know, he gets all the stats, health bonus. And I think I was maxing hook this game. It's just important, you know, make sure whenever you play any champion, you only have, you know, the one moment, especially if it's crowd control, to use it. And if you whiff it or don't put it at the right time, you know, where your team can follow up, it's useless. So yeah, for me, I just think it's so normal and it's expected nowadays, you know, you got to do that. So I am just like so biased. I think at the time, I mean, that was not bad. We'll give it an S because, I mean, that's obviously what you want to see out of your support player during team fights. Landing every hook, you know, every spell, being able to follow up and stuff like that. So we'll give it an S. Yeah, I think when I was in 100 teams that year, I really wanted to make sure we got to the finals because, you know, going into a new team and then, you know, just sucking, I was like, oh, hell no, you know, I don't want to do that. So I did as best as I could. I was surprised I even won it, you know. I guess it's just because I was playing well, I would say, I guess. Or a lot of our games were long, but in the end, you know, we were able to overcome whatever, you know, difficulties we had. Got first in the regular season, you know, made it to finals versus TL. And yeah, I'm grateful.
As well, because there's a whole bunch of attack damage. I think something like 40 AD for completing the jungle enchant. So big deal there. And once again, there's a potential fight. Axe does not quite land, and according to Jay, the flash hook! Oh, he caught him! In goes Aphromoo, flays him, and Core is flashless. What a lasso! Acadian grabs the kill.
Yeah, right. Good thing the clip cuts out right here because we all die right after. Yeah, I knew that the Core was going to come here. He had no flash. He's going to go back towards the plant, and he shouldn't have really been here at all. I thought it was weird he was here too. Oh yeah, it was with Johnson now. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to predict anybody who's going to go for the plant here. And so, you know, I flashed the right time, you know, when he's going up in the air, making sure, you know, we're able to kill this guy. Sucks that even though this was, you know, a pretty cool play, we all die right after. So it's just doomed. Dude, I think that the play killed my whole team, but hey, it was cool. Oof, oof, oof. We'll put it right here next to Big Boy Blitz. Oh, just for me, it's just the personnel I'm with, teammates, you know, staff, making it enjoyable to play. If the game isn't fun, you know, hard. I don't really have motivation to play it, especially if I'm not having fun. That's pretty much all it is. Like, you know, I want to have fun. I want to, you know, just put people into the dirt and, you know, do it as efficient as possible, be around people, you know, same mindset, you know. Obviously you want to win, but like you want to do it the best you can. And for me, I'm a perfectionist, so any scenario or setup, you know, like we got to do it to a T, making sure, you know, it's efficient, get the most out of it, you know, reset, come back on the map and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, when you, for plays, it's obviously always the flashy ones and stuff like that, but the ones in my head are the ones where I'm just calming about what's going to happen on the map and what I need people to do. So some of the plays, like, I don't even know what game it was, but I think maybe it was versus PIP with Thresh. I don't remember, but yeah, I'm just not micromanaging, but just pretty much like just calling everything on the map where everybody is. You know, who you take this 1v1 here, I need Darshan just all in right now, you know, we're gonna do this, and then everything happens all at once and it goes well, you know. So that's when like I'm just super immersed in the game. I'm not really doing the flashy plays, and usually for me, I'm very good at facilitating in general. So when I can do that and just do it across the whole map, that's when I would put it, you know, at the top. Yeah, I think RNG 18k down, I'm talking the whole time when we're coming back, making sure, you know, we don't give up, because all they're going to do is backdoor at that point. So just making sure we're in the right spot on the map to block anything that they can do until finally, you know, we can go down mid, make them fight us, and then we win. So yeah, a lot of people don't really see that. They usually just look at, you know, the highlights, but I'm sure if you know, played the game back and had all the comms for every team, then you would be like, oh wow, this guy's actually, you know, he's doing it all, you know. This is why they did that. Thank you everybody for sending all the plays over. Let me know how I did in the comments, and I'll see you guys later.